Section 4, how to make a video creation assembly line. So over the years, I've learned so much about hiring people and outsourcing, systematizing the content production from Kwebbelkop. Now, Kwebbelkop has 15 million subscribers. He doesn't run a cash cow YouTube channel, but he's nearly automated his entire channel, right? And the only thing that he does is sits down to record the videos. His team does almost everything. They think of the video ideas, they think of the title ideas, they think of the thumbnail ideas, they edit the videos, they make the thumbnails, they plan out what happens in the video, they analyze his analytics, they quality check everything. And after speaking with him, multiple times and literally seeing behind the scenes of what goes into running a massive operation like that, that just further perfected my process and the technological infrastructure to run my channels on autopilot, and I'm about to share it with you. So, what exactly is video creation assembly line? So as you begin adding more workers, things can go wrong, really quick. And it's essential that you have something in place to prevent you from constantly stepping into the process, right? Or else you're just going to find yourself trying to combat a few problems every single day. You're going to have to be communicating between all different contractors. You're going to be forgetting parts of the process. You're going to have to schedule work at the right time so things don't get delayed. You're going to just make your workers annoyed. And the goal is to create something so that your contractors can form a strong team and communicate with one another to work more efficiently without you stepping in, right? And so when you do that, that is what a video creation assembly line is. And so similar to the chart with all the job positions that I showed you earlier in this chapter, things can get significantly more complex once you have them trying to work together without your help, right? And unfortunately, it's not just a straight line like this, because many positions in this process require the video to be passed back and forth multiple times before they can actually move closer to being a finished video. So here's what it actually looks like. So the creative director will give the video idea to the SEO specialist, then the SEO specialist will come up with keywords and give those back to the creative director. Then the creative director is going to think of a title using the keywords and pass that on to the scriptwriter. And the SEO specialist is also going to pass keywords onto the scriptwriter. Then the scriptwriter is going to pass the script off to the voiceover artist. The voiceover artist is going to pass that off to the video editor. Then it's going to get quality checked. Then someone's going to make the thumbnail. Then it's going to go back to the virtual assistant, who's then going to set all the settings so the video can be uploaded, right? And when it looks like that, instead of just a straight line, it becomes a lot more to manage. And luckily, I've laid all of this out in a step-by-step format so that you can easily just follow along to implement all this. So I use Trello to manage this crazy entanglement of a process, and Trello is free to use. And as the size of your team grows, systematizing this becomes increasingly important. And it basically creates a chain reaction. When you systematize the process, you then speed up the workflow. When you speed up the workflow, the more efficient your team will be. The more efficient they are, the more videos they'll be able to create, and then the more money you'll make, right? So you're going to need to sign up for a Trello account. So you're going to enter your email. So name your workspace. It doesn't really matter. YouTube 1. You don't want to name it the channel name because I like to put multiple channels into the same Trello board, right? And I'll put 5 channels on one board. More than 5 on a single board, and it just becomes way too complicated for everyone inside of Trello, and things can get lost and have the wrong work being completed. So keep it to 5 and you'll be good to go. So the Trello boards are broken down into 7 steps, right? And each one is called a list. So let's go ahead and finish signing up for our account here so you can see this. Right, here we go. And we'll go ahead and verify our email as well really quick. Right, so we'll go ahead and download the copy of my Trello board. We'll bring it over here. So a Trello board is where everyone will work, right? Up to 5 channels on a single board. And each board is broken down into 7 steps. Each step is called a list, right? So these things right here are a list. Every one of these. Again, 7 steps. the video ideas, the SEO and keywords, the videos and scripting, voiceover, edits, quality check, and upload, right? 7 steps, and each one's called a list. Inside of each list are cards, and we'll create a copy of this so that you can see how this works, right? So you can actually move the cards. So for example, once the video ideas are complete, they're going to move this card over to SEO and keywords, right? And each one is going to be labeled as the video. So every single card here is going to be an individual video that's going to be moved throughout the process. And eventually, as the team's done working on it, right, they might have to move it back, right? Eventually, it will end up towards the end to the upload process. And so, again, each one of these is called a list, and we have 7 of them for all 7 steps of the process. Inside of each list are cards. The cards are going to be named after each video that you're creating. So list number 1 is official video ideas. This is where the creative director will create a new card for each new video idea. List number 2 is SEO and keywords. This is where the SEO specialist will use the video idea given to them by the creative director to find high-ranking keywords and tags. Then videos and scripting, this is where the script writers will start working on the script. Voiceover, all right, once the script is done, they'll pass it off to the voiceover. They'll record a voiceover. Once the voiceover is done, they'll pass it off to videos and edit. All right, that's where the video editor will take the voiceover and create the video. After that, they're going to pass it off to need quality check. That's where a virtual assistant will come in and actually watch the video to see if there's any errors. And lastly, need thumbnail/upload. So on this final list, this is where the thumbnail designer starts to create the thumbnail based on the sketch, and the virtual assistant will add all of the details in the upload process, such as the titles, description, tags, and all of that stuff. So let's talk about the basics of using Trello. So like I said before, every card represents a video, right? So you're going to have a new card for every new video that you're posting to your channel. And it'll also have a label indicating what channel that video belongs to. So if you only have one channel starting off, it's not really important at first, but I would still add it to get in the habit of it so that it's easy to understand once you start to scale. So each card is also going to have a description, and this is visible for everyone. This just eliminates unnecessary confusion. So for example, if the scriptwriter needs to see the keywords that he's going to use in the script, all he has to do is just click on this card and boom, it's right here. Here are the keywords. That way the scriptwriter doesn't have to go ask the SEO specialist, or he doesn't have to wait on the SEO specialist to message him, right? It's all in Trello for everyone to see, right? And so in this template, I've already formatted this, because if you click on this, you'll see that it's, kind of looks a little bit different here. And that's because Trello uses Markdown for the formatting. So you can either just copy this, right? Copy, and video number 66, and it'll copy all of this with it. Or you can click right here and just paste it into one from scratch. But I would recommend just copying it. And for the labels for every channel, right, let's just delete this one. So, you have the labels. So the label on this one is Tech Vision, right? That's the name of the channel. You want to change this, whatever your channel name is, just save it, and there you go. You shouldn't have more than one label, because each video should only be going to one channel, right? So make sure you only have one label. And what this does is, let's say, let's copy this. Delete the label. Let's say this is video number 67, but this one belongs to Tech Zone instead of Scary Hub or Tech Vision, right? People are going to be able to see, you can literally just hover over it, what channel this video belongs to. So let's say it's all the way down here towards the end, need thumbnail/upload. All the virtual assistant has to do, hover over this, okay, this video is being uploaded to Tech Zone, right? So that is basically a rundown of how Trello works. Really simple to use. I would copy the template that I gave you, play around in here, get used to it, edit this stuff, and just get used to it. because the more you familiarize yourself with something, the easier it's going to be to manage your team inside of here. All right, and so another tool that we're going to talk about is Slack. So if you go over to slack.com, you're going to then need to sign up for a Slack account. So sign up with email. So Slack is where you're going to keep all the communication. And keeping your communication consolidated into one place is vital for your team's workflow. And I always recommend Slack over anything else because it's just so easy to use and it's also the most popular. And this replaces the need for emails and keeps everything organized in one place, right? For everyone on the team to view, right? So head over to slack.com and create a new account. And then create a workspace, and you're going to name the workspace whatever you want. So YouTube 1. Skip that step, and then what's your team working on right now? Just type in one of your channels here. So you can go ahead and invite people if you only have one channel, but for now I'm going to skip this step. And now it's going to load us into our Slack channel. So the way that this works is all of your YouTube channels will be managed under one workspace, right? And each channel will have its own private Slack channel. So we already created one here during the sign up, which is called Tech Vision. And you want to add a channel for every channel that you have, right? Add a Slack channel for every YouTube channel that you have. So create a new channel, right? Whatever your channel name is, and make it private, right? You don't have to make it private, but I always do. And again, you can go ahead and invite your team members into here during the setup, but I would just wait, right? So skip that. Now you're going to add another Slack channel that says job notification, right? And don't make this one private. So create, and boom, there we go. Right, and I'm going to make the Tech Vision channel private, and then this random one here, just leave this because you don't really need that. So now you're done creating your Slack channels that you need. You should have a general channel, a job notification channel, and then channels for your YouTube channels, right? So I put Mr. Luxury in Tech Vision. And while we are here, I want to go over some useful Slack features. And so you can type /remind, and you can send a reminder. Video needs to be done, and then you can select a time. So today at 9:30 p.m., 2 a.m., right? Whatever time works for you. So it's a pretty cool feature. Another one is the search bar, right? Because you have all these channels in here, and let's say you're trying to find, how you resolved a copyright issue for a video, a year ago. Instead of scrolling through all of the messages that are going to be in here, you can just search, right? So copyright or whatever you're searching for. Pretty useful. And one last thing I want to talk about is notifications. So when you sign up, you should see this thing that says enable notifications, right? So enable those, and then click on your profile up here, preferences. I would select all new messages, and then if you scroll down, you'll have a notification schedule. So, every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I actually do 7:30 a.m. until midnight because my team works on the other side of the globe. So, any time from midnight until 7 a.m., I'm not going to get any notifications. And so that is all on Slack for now. We're going to talk about Slack a little bit later on because next we need to talk about Zapier. So if you go to Zapier.com, you're going to need to sign up for an account. And so what this is going to be used for is sending notifications, right? Or that's what we're going to use it for with Slack. We're going to set it up for Google Sheets as well. But the reason that we're doing this is because we want to have everything in the same communication medium, right? Trello does have an option to, send out notifications, but it doesn't work as well as setting it up with Zapier and Slack. right? And also, in order to send notifications in Trello, they have to, click watch on every single card to receive a notification. And, sometimes people forget to do that and it's just a mess. So, it's always better to set it up and put the work in the beginning because it's going to save you so much time in the long run. So, we're going to be using it for Slack, but we're also going to be using it to create a tracking sheet inside of Google Sheets so that, we can know when things were submitted and who they were submitted by. So in total, you're going to need to set up 7 Zaps, which is beyond the free account limit. In order to use all of the Zaps that I'm going to share, you are going to have to upgrade to the starter account for $30 a month. As always, I want to give you guys a free option. So if you're tight on funds and you can't afford to upgrade to the $30 a month plan, what you can do is set up 2 free trial accounts and have 5 of the Zaps on one account and 2 on the other. Right? It's a little bit extra work, but whenever you're tight on funds, there's always a way to still make it happen, right? Because we're all part of a team, no excuses. And an important note to make is, this chapter as a whole is meant to be implemented in pieces. I could have made it significantly less thorough, way less detailed, but I'm not going to do that to you, right? I want you to succeed in a massive way, and I want to give you the absolute best information available anywhere. And this chapter is going to be thorough, it's going to be overwhelming, and it's not going to be for everyone because it will, push some people outside of their comfort zones. But this chapter will make others into millionaires. So take things one day at a time and let's get into it. So step number 1 is we're going to set up the Google Sheets tracking. And there's more advanced tracking templates, but this one is the lowest hanging fruit, right? It's basic enough to give you enough information to keep track of what goes on in your process while not being so overwhelmingly difficult to set up as a beginner. So you're going to have to sign up for a Zapier account, and I'll finish that. And boom, there you go. So once you have created your Zapier account, now it's time to download your Google Sheet tracking template. And I've already done all of this hard work for you. So literally all you have to do, click this. This link will be available in the Chapter 7 PDF, which you can download in the introduction video of this chapter. Click here and it's going to take you to this page, right? Make a copy. And once you do, boom, there you go. Copy of tracking template. You have this. Now it's really important. Don't touch this. Don't edit anything in here. If you do, it will break the Zap, right? Leave this alone. And this normally takes months to set up, but I've made it as easy as it's possible to be for you to set this up in a day when normally it would take months and more than $20,000 to implement, right? People pay crazy amounts to have people create Zaps for them. So we just downloaded the tracking template. Now you're going to download the Zaps. So Google Sheets tracking. We're going to click on this and try this Zap. And it's going to make a copy of it. So get started. And now you're going to connect your Trello account. So let's sign in here. Right, allow. Right, now that you've done that, click next. And use advanced mode. And it should, let's drag this over here. So now you should be on a page that looks like this, and you want to connect your Trello account to the Zap. So click on this, right? And what we're going to do, choose app and event. You want to make sure this is connected to your Trello account, right? And then for the trigger, you want to make sure that you select your board, right? So if you copied mine, it should be called YouTube template. Select your board. And if you don't, this isn't going to work, right? And leave any list and any card the same. You just want to select the board on setup the trigger. So continue and test trigger. So if you did it correctly, it should find activity, right? So continue. Now choose app and event, create spreadsheet row, continue. Now you're going to choose your Google Sheets account. Continue, and to set up an action, you want to select your Google Drive account, and then for the spreadsheet, you want to select the copy of the template. And for worksheet, sheet 1. Now, you want to make sure that you enter the correct info here. So for moved to, you want to enter card list name, right? For time moved, you want to select date. Oops, let's put that down here. Date, right? Select the date. Card video, you're gonna select card name, right? So there we go. I keep putting that in the wrong box. For the channel, you want to select card labels, then continue and test and continue. If you set it up right, it should be good to go. Click publish zap, publish and turn on. And now, if we go over to that Google Sheet and we go over to our Trello board, you'll see whenever we move one of these cards, boom, it creates a new row. So in Trello, when somebody, let's say when the SEO specialist, is done with the keywords and he moves them back to the creative director to come up with the title, right? Then we can see exactly when that was done. You can see what card was moved and you can see what channel it was for. So if we try this again, right, let's move video 66, move that, boom, right there. And that one doesn't have a label on it. So if we put a label on here, right, top trending, and we move this again, let's move it all the way to videos and edit. You can see on the tracking template that it was moved to videos and edit at this time. This is the card that was moved, and this is what channel that video is for. Now, if you're asking yourself, well, Dylan, how am I supposed to know who moved the card? Well, the way that you know that is by knowing who's responsible for editing the videos, by knowing who's responsible for doing SEO for each specific channel. If you have more than one editor, what you can do is you can create a new row here titled name, right? And then you can go back into Zapier. Let's turn this off. Actually, I should have turned it off before I edited that. And let's edit this. Setup action and refresh fields, and now you'll see the one for the name. So let's go over here and drag this over, name, and then you want to select member full name, right? You could also do member username. And so what this is going to do, right, select continue, save, or publish, right, publish and turn on. What that is going to do is inside of Trello, you're going to have to add a member, right? So if you have more than one scriptwriter, you're going to have to add the member, so member, and add whoever is responsible for the video in the current list that it's in. So once it's moved over to SEO and keywords, you're going to take the member, right? And you're gonna switch it out to whoever is responsible for this one, right? That's more advanced, but generally you should be able to know who actually moved it, just based off of knowing who is responsible for what inside of your process. So now that that is done, you want to set up your Slack notification bot. So every time a card is moved in Trello, this bot will send a notification to a channel inside of Slack to notify whoever's responsible for completing that task, right? So, hey Dylan, there's a new video that needs a thumbnail, it needs to be uploaded. Please open Trello and complete this as soon as possible. So let's go back over to Slack, and you want to go here. You see this little drop down next to your workspace. You're going to come down to settings and administration and manage apps, right? And so from here, add Zapier, right? So add to Slack, allow, and now when we set this up, the bot is actually going to work, and you can see it actually populate down here, right? Zapier. Then you're going to configure every single one of these zaps, right? So all of these zaps here, you're going to click on these, right? Try this Zap. Get started. Next. And you want to select the right board. Right, make sure these you change these for your board. Go to next. Right, Slack account, and then the channel. You want to set this to job and notification. Go to next. Next. Hey, and this will need to be changed out with whoever is responsible for completing that specific job. All right, so click next, send test. So if this worked properly, when we go over into Slack, boom, right there you go, Awesome and Swag bot. You can see just sent us a job notification notifying us we have SEO and tags. So if we go back over into Trello and we test this out, right, when a video is moved over to SEO and keywords, we can see, well, actually, wait, we actually need to turn this on first before it'll work. Right, there we go. Now that it's turned on, it'll work, right? So let's move this, and boom, once that's moved there, then it's gonna send a notification to the Slack channel. And so you're gonna do this with every single one of these apps that I included here, right? So that was that one. Let's do another one, just so you guys can see how to do this. Right, so try this Zap, get started, next, select the right board. For list, for this example, we're gonna do videos and edit. Don't select a card, right? Make sure it's on your Slack account. Slack channel, job notification, leave this all the same. And boom, right, hey, and we'll change this out to this test account username. All right, so you want to include the username of the person who's responsible for the role, right? And leave all this the same. Send a test, and let's see. Right, there we go. Hey, The Real Business King, you have a new video to edit. Please open Trello and complete as soon as possible. Right, and then you're going to hit next and turn on the Zap, and you're going to do this for every single one of these. It might take a while, but by doing the work up front, you're going to save yourself so much time in the long run. So get it done and be part of Team No Excuses. All right, so next we're going to talk about YouTubebox. All right, let's open up. So YouTubebox.io, and click log in, choose a new account. All right, click that, accept, and boom, there you go. So the goal with automating your channel is to remove yourself from the process. I've said that 100 times by now, and the goal is to implement a system with as little human interaction as possible. So when it comes to uploading videos onto your channel, we're going to implement something that will further speed up the production process and save money, right? Because it's faster. It's not much faster, but when you're uploading, hundreds of videos a week across multiple channels, it becomes worth it. Because you have to, you'd have to have the editor log into your YouTube channel. You'd have to give them trust for that. You'd have to have them upload the video. Then they would have to get the link and send it to the quality checker. Where instead, if they just upload it to Google Drive, it limits those unnecessary manual actions. And although it's not much, it still limits them. And again, when you're uploading hundreds and hundreds of videos, it makes a significant difference, and it actually makes sense to set something like this up. So you can start off with the free trial, but as you increase the number of uploads across multiple channels, you will need to upgrade to the Pro plan, which is $50 a month, right? And again, like everything in this course, you can just keep using free trials. You never really have to pay for anything until it becomes worth it to you to just go ahead and spend the money instead of taking time out of your day to keep creating free trials. And another question, people ask all the time is, well, Dylan, why can't we use Zapier to upload the videos to YouTube? Why do we have to use this tool? Well, one of the reasons is Zapier just doesn't function properly with this tool, right? It's very buggy, it hasn't been out long enough, and I've been using YouTubebox for years, and it's what I can teach best. So I tested to see if Zapier could replace this, but it can't. So for now, we're going to be using this. And once you're running multiple channels, the unlimited quota package that you can see somewhere here. Yeah, the unlimited is $100 a month, but that will actually save you money that you would be spending to deal with all those manual actions of uploading the videos onto YouTube, paying somebody to do that for you, right? And, when you're running an empire that is making, back-to-back $300,000 months, $100 a month for a little tool like this is nothing, right? It saves so much money. It might not seem like it at first, but it does save money, once you scale to a certain point. So once you're inside of here, you're going to need to connect your Google Drive account. So sign into Google, right? And you're also going to need to connect your YouTube channel as well. So might as well go ahead and do that. Link your Google Drive account, right? Oh, right, there we go. Allow. And now you're going to go over to Google Drive, and you're going to need to create a new folder that's only going to be used for final video files. So just name it TechVision YouTube Box, right? It doesn't really matter. Something that you can remember. You're going to come back over to YouTube Box, and you're going to need to bring this up again. Right, there we go. Select that. And so that you don't have to pay for drive storage, you want to check delete file upon successful transfer. So basically, when it uploads it to YouTube, right, after it's successfully uploaded to YouTube, it's going to delete the file from Google Drive, right? And test this out for yourself, right? Come into here, upload a video in here, and see if it uploads to your channel. You have to test everything. Because remember, this is no longer the age of it's someone else's job, right? Everything is your fault and it's your job, right? You have to do the work. And all these steps, I know this is a lot of it might seem pointless. It's a lot of upfront work on your part to get this system up and running, but once it's done, it's going to make everything so much easier for your team, and they're going to be able to get so much more work done. Right, and it would be so much easier just to tell the editor to log into YouTube and upload the video himself, or have some other human do it. But all that does is adds more unnecessary human interaction. And the more you can automate everything with technology and limit the need for humans in this process, the more you'll make, right? I'm making, right, on average, back-to-back $300,000 months. So trust me when I tell you, the more you can automate things, even if it's, it seems like, okay, well, why, Dylan, why would you pay for something like this when you could just have the editor do it, upload it right to the channel? Even if it saves, 10 minutes of time per upload or even 5 minutes, that adds up significantly once you're doing hundreds of videos a week, right? And that's the power of technology. Spending more time now to spend infinitely less time in the future. And as you start to grow your business, it becomes more difficult to know what to spend your time on. Because you do it once, and it's done forever. It works silently in the night as your unstoppable workforce that never makes errors or mistakes or takes sick days, right? It's just an unbreakable machine that does exactly what you set it up to do. And remember, everything in this chapter is the summary of more than 10,000 hours of hard work, trial and error, failure, wasted money, testing things that don't work, seeing what works, testing all kinds of different software, workflows, testing everything that I could possibly test, right? Testing everything that's technologically required to make this a well-oiled money printing YouTube machine. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to make a video creation assembly line. I know this might have been a lot for some of you, but play the video back a few times, right? Get used to it. Because once you put in the work up front, it's done forever and you never have to do it again. So, I'll see you guys on the next video.